Yo,
What's going on, mate?
come on.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, not bad.
Nice. Wait for a few people to join.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
Morning, mate.
Good. I'm actually in a GJ cell right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm in as well.
Oh, nice.
On a break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's the start of the stream, but I got in a small risk cell. Just a one lot to end the week.
Morning, boys. Yeah, mate, same as me.
Oh, nice.
Morning.
Nice.
We broke the low.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, at least everyone's on the same page.
I made a mistake on the last 30-minute close. I got in then, and I got stopped, but I did get a re-entry. Just now as I broke the low. Give it a second chance.
Yeah, nice. I think.
Should have waited.
Yeah, I think with this candle here, it was. I know it looked like a massive rejection, but I think it was pretty difficult. You know.
I did the same, Wilksy.
Yeah.
Yeah, mate,
Yeah.
same, boys. DJ
Yeah,
class.
people who are making mistakes.
Yeah, it's okay.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
I should have waited till I was going to wait till it broke the low, but anyway.
Yeah.
I thought, yeah, no, looks good.
Yeah, I think it should be good to continue down. I'm gonna try and let this one lot run and then see if we can get anything nice here today. But it looks like it's playing around right now. I think it should be good as long as this 15-minute candle closes bearish in 7 minutes. Then the next one should continue down. 30 minutes still got like 22 minutes. So yeah, let's remove this line. Don't need that. I still think if this 30-minute candle closes bearish, in our direction, it's still gonna be pretty good. But I mean, you remember this is obviously an aggressive entry. But yeah, I just was expecting once this low was broken, because it looks like it rejected this area. And then if we get a resistance formed here, then obviously there's a much higher chance the price is going to continue down. We just need this 30-minute candle to close below this level, and then the trade's still valid at that point. We need the 15-minute to close below this minor support as well. So it should be good. Put the 5-minute. Yeah.
The aggressive style is exactly how the gangs work. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Euro JPY already done that move. We do some fresh analysis. I just want to keep an eye on this trade. It's retracing quite a bit. Man, if it continues up from here, that would not make sense. Yeah, this 15-minute candle needs to close bearish. I'll give it the 5 minutes to do its thing, but it really needs to close below this minor support for price to continue down. Yeah, it's a real necessity. I think maybe, you know, it's gonna do. I see maybe like the 15-minute leave like a wick fill, and then the next one's gonna come down, break the low. But yeah, hopefully should be good. It's gonna be my one trade for the day. If it doesn't play out, I probably won't take a re-entry. I'm gonna sell from 134.87. Nice. 87. What is that? Yeah, nice. Oh, man, I literally woke up like 15 minutes ago, so. Okay. While we're looking at GJ, let's do a analysis on Euro JPY. Let's go to the daily time frame. So looking on the daily time frame, Euro JPY is continuing bearish. It is continuing bearish. It's trying to break below this area, but then we do have this resistance around 121.500. That's going to be pretty important. Looking at the 4-hour time frame. Previous 4-hour closed below support. Right over here. And then the next one, you know, tried to do like a retest, tried to continue down. Let's look at the 1-hour time frame. So 1-hour candle made a low right over here at 121.650, and then the 1-hour tried to create a resistance right over here. So it just depends whether it's going to continue, make a new low at this point. But if it does, then we have clean traffic on the hourly time frame coming down to this support. I can see GJ on my price is playing around right now. Oh, nearly not looking good at all. How long we got here? We've got 2 minutes left for this 15-minute candle to close. It's not closing very good at this point. Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, if it closes bullish, I'll probably just close 50%, and then if the rest hits stop loss, that's my one trade. My one trade for today. But I mean, it got below everything, so if it goes bullish, then it's just a liquidity grab, and price is going to continue up. But at that point, I would just miss the move. So I don't know. Let's wait and see how this kind of closes in 1 minute. But we are in a little bit of a drawdown right now. Okay, so going back to Euro JPY, if we go to the 1 hour, it was on the 1 hour time frame. So yeah, on the 1 hour time frame, it does look like if this 1 hour candle, you know, closes bearish as is, then, you know, there's a much higher chance for the next 1 hour candle to come down, potentially fill these wicks and fill this range. Looking on the 30-minute time frame. Yeah, so 30 minutes kind of reacting to this support right now. So if we remove this, neaten it up, we have a support right over here. So we're just reacting to this support. We can see it just consolidating. So a break below this area right over here. We have clean candles coming down to 121.550. So it's about 20 pip range. So easy range to, you know, like a good range to trade. And then for buys, I mean, I'd be very skeptical of the buys. But I mean, essentially, if it does come up, I think there's a very high chance that it should come up and retest this previous support around 122. So I can see GJ is back to my entry now, so Yeah, there we go. I don't know why it did that, man. So looking at the 15-minute candles coming to a close, it is closing bearish. So I think at this point, you know, if it does break the high, there's no trade. You know, this was just a liquidity grab, and it gets pretty hard. So, yeah, I'm still holding the sell. Just hopefully that was just a retracement on the smaller time frames. But yeah, we just have to keep an eye. Ooh. Okay, so yeah, at least it closed bearish. It did close above this minor support, which obviously isn't ideal. But the 30-minute hasn't closed yet, so at this point, I would just want to see this 30-minute at least close below this minor support. So that's going to be the most important thing. So yeah, we're still gonna hold this sell. I mean, if we do continue down, then I mean, if we're gonna come down and retest this low again, I mean, that's gonna be crazy. Gonna be a good move here on Friday. In which they entered GDP JPY. Yes, it's in a sell on GDP JPY.
Question, sorry, mate. When did you get in? Did you get in on the close, on the third? I'm trying to work out when you got in. Sorry, mate.
I got in.
Was it on the when it broke low? Was it?
Yeah. So when this candle broke the low, I was expecting, you know, because here's the thing. So we had obviously a previous support area over here. This candle came up. It rejected this area, closed weak bearish. This candle came up, it rejected this area, closed below, but it closed bullish. So, you know, my thought process here was, okay, well, if it's creating a support to continue up, the next candle should respect this low and then continue to push into this next range. But it couldn't do so. So as it was coming down, breaking the low, there was a much higher chance, you know, for price to continue down. Obviously, it's done a retracement, and if this was a normal weekday, I would have, you know, reduced the risk. But I mean, I've got only like a one lot running, and it was just unfortunate this 15-minute candle, you know, kind of just flipped, and then nearly stopped us out, but it's okay. So yeah, just a bit more waiting involved. Let's look on the 5 minutes, see if there's a point where we can reduce the risk. Yeah, I mean, not really on this occasion. I think this is just a point of, you know, if the 30-minute can't close below this minor support, then, you know, there's a point at which we may need to take some risk off, because that's really important for this trade to play out. It does need to close below this this minor support. That is really important.
It's quite interesting because you've got the 4 hour just like at the moment is closing weak bullish, like rejecting 134 400. So
yeah, I mean, it may be a case, you know, then we're just a little bit early, and then you know, we're gonna start to see this wick get filled for the next 4 hour. Let's look at the 1 hour. You see, 1 hour is trying to close bullish, but it's still closing below this area. So maybe it is just a case of being a little bit early. But we'll see. I just want this candle to close below this minor support. At least close bearish is going to be bare minimum. So, isn't this an impulse entry? Yes, that is an impulse entry. Oh, it's doing a retracement again. Yeah, I'm not sure this is gonna be good over here. It's not looking good so far. Yeah, I'll continue to break down just once I wait to see what happens over here, because I don't particularly want to get caught out. Yeah, so hopefully we can just keep an eye on this 15 minute. Hopefully we can just start coming back down, trying to close bearish. But if this 15 minute candle closes bullish, I'm probably going to reduce the risk at that point, you know, because it gets pretty hard to... I don't want it to hit full stop loss. So if it respects this high but closes bullish, then, you know, I'm going to be more inclined to, you know, reduce the risk at that point. So I think that's what I'm going to do. If this candle closes bullish, I'm going to reduce the risk. And then hopefully the overall 30 minute can close bearish, but it can close, I mean, so the 15 minute to close bearish, for me not to reduce the risk, would need to close below this minus support, because it would need to close below this candle here. But if it does close bullish, you know, it makes it a lot harder for the next candle to go bearish, and obviously that would be the new 30 minute, which is going to be, you know, we don't want to have to sit through, you know, mass drawdown. So it will be a case of, you know, closing positions. I mean, right now it just, yeah, it's not looking good at this point. It's nearly going to stop us out, actually. Yeah, I think at this point I'm probably just going to maybe didn't quite break the high. GJ is playing around today, but it is the last day of the week. It's pretty much the last day of the month as well, so that's why I've used lower risk. So it does make it harder, but we'll see. So Euro JPY, yeah, still just ranging. So yeah, I think you need to break below the support for price to continue down. We'll do some more analysis in a minute. I just want to keep an eye on this trade while it's still running, because this looks like it's closing. Oh, are you in the Zoom, Sergio? Oh shit, sorry, I was too focused, didn't clock. Sorry, mate. Yeah, so I mean, ideally this 15 minute needs to flip, but I don't know if it's gonna do that. But yeah, if it closes bullish, I'm gonna close 50% and let the rest run. It's been a 5 minute. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've seen this play out numerous times, so it's probably just, you know, it's down to probabilities. It's a Friday, you know, there's going to be potentially less volume, you know, because we broke this low. So if it does, it's just a liquidity grab. It made sense. It completely made sense for price to continue down. Just wasn't meant to be, it seems. Yeah, I think at this point, if it does come up, I know it's not going to save me a lot, but if it does come up and try to break its own high, you know, in the last 5 minutes, then I'm just going to exit full positions at that point. I mean, yeah, at least it wouldn't hit full stop loss. We save around a pip. So yeah, if we see a nice rejection on the 5 minute, that's gonna be good. Yeah, it looks like this was maybe grabbing some liquidity. If it's going to continue down, then that would make sense. So, yeah, we got 5 minutes left for this 30-minute candle to close. So we're still in the trade. Just want to see this candle, you know, really close healthy, close below this minor support, and then I think it's still going to be valid. We just had to sit through some drawdown. Nearly got stopped out, but is what it is. So, yeah, 5 minutes. We'll just wait the 5 minutes and then we'll see what we're going to do. And then we'll check out gold, the FTSE. FTSE rejecting also. FTSE looks very similar to GJ today. GJ just not got that same volume, it seems. Small candle after a big candle, then the next one breaking the high. That's a buy entry. Well, this candle broke the low of this support and we rejected this area. So maybe we're early, but we are surely looking for the right thing. I mean, if you was in buys, you would have already got stopped out, right? So, yeah, no buyers at that point. Yeah, so it's not really looking good at this point. 3 minutes left for the candle to close. So, yeah, not looking healthy, guys, I have to say. Yeah, I don't see it coming back down in the last 3 minutes. So I think at this point, I'm gonna close everything. I closed out everything right over here. So is what it is at that point. So yeah, we took a loss over here today, last day of the week, but that's okay. Yeah, it was like a £80. So we got out with like minus 8 pips. It's okay, but it was smaller risk today anyway. So yeah, wasn't meant to be, it seems. So yeah, we just would have got stopped out there anyway. So good decision to exit that trade. So now we can just chill out. That's my one trade for the day, and just gonna call it a day. For no re-entries at this point. So anyway, let's go to Euro JPY. Looking at Euro JPY, you can just see it's ranging. Spoke about that. Let's go to gold. Let's do some analysis on gold. So looking at the daily time frame on gold, maybe this daily, is just generated a top wick, liquidity wick, to continue down and fill this daily wick, which would be obviously reaching this support. Look at the 4 hour. 4 hour is trying to create a resistance over here. So, there's a much higher chance for price to continue down. Looking at the 1 hour time frame. Yeah, 1 hour also closed back in this range. Over here, closed back in this range. And it's come up and it's rejected this area. So, but at the same time, we have a support right over here. So I think if we break below this support, it's going to be good for price to continue down. Let's look at the 30-minute. Looking on the 30-minute time frame, yeah. So we have a support here. Once we break this support, we do have this next kind of range to fill, this minor range. So if we measure this range, this is a 30 pip range, so okay for gold. And then at that point, if we break below that support, then we do have further clean candles. And then if we remove this, yeah, we have further clean candles coming down to this next support. Ooh. Yeah, so this range is around 23 pips, so not bad. But yeah, need this support to break over here. Let's check out the FTSE. FTSE closed bearish. How did the candle close on GJ? Oh yeah, it closed super bullish at this point. So, I mean, looking at GJ now, I think there's a much higher chance of it continuing up to, you know, retest 135, 150, 170. Right over here. But, yeah, the sells just weren't meant to be, you know. It's just one of those probability aspects. But that's why, you know, I threw less risk at it. It's a Friday, so it's okay. So it's pretty important. So, you know, the first sign was the fact that the 15-minute came up and broke this high. Was obviously the first point at which, you know, you could say that there's a potential reversal because it's respecting this minor support. So it was respecting this minor support. So I think ideally, I mean, I should have maybe reduced the risk once the 15 closed back above this zone, because we needed to see, you know, price start to break below this area for it to continue down. So I think that was the first point. And then as it broke the high, I could have reduced the risk there and just closed out. So I think looking back, that's how I should have managed the trade a bit better. Obviously, it was an £80 loss, but yeah, it is what it is. It was hard to reduce the risk because, you know, 15-minute was still open, 30-minute was still open. But yeah, I think it just wasn't meant to be at that point. So so we looked at gold. Let's check out GCAD. GCAD's done pretty much the same thing over here, but looks like some liquidity is being generated with GDP, you know, for price to continue up. This was a zone from yesterday. So in fact, let's go to let's go to the daily. So looking on the daily time frame on GCAD, looks like it created a support over here, you know, maybe for price to continue up. It did actually break above this previous high point, so it looks like maybe it's going to generate some liquidity for GCAD to continue up. Let's go to the 4 hour. Looking at the 4 hour time frame, it's created a support and just above this previous resistance level. Let's go to the 1 hour. Looking on the 1 hour time frame, we've broken above this resistance over here, and then we're approaching this other area where we have some issues. But then after that, we have a clean candle to the left hand side, you know, maybe coming up to 1.7277. Looking on the 30-minute, yeah, we're trying to create some support within this range for price to continue up. And then once it breaks this resistance, it has a clean candle to the left. So I think GCAD buys could play out. But I mean, maybe it's not going to have the volume to get there on Friday. Let's check out the Dow. Dow has also created a resistance, potentially for price to continue down. Let's go to the daily. Daily is bearish. Did come down and fill these wicks over here that we spoke about. Looking on the 4 hour. Previous 4 hour is bearish. Does have a wick to fill also. So previous 4 hour had a support over here. Candle broke down, left a wick to potentially fill. Let's look at the 1 hour. So yeah, we need some form of resistance on the 1 hour. Resistance on the 1 hour for this wick to get filled. Looking on the 30-minute. Yeah, we do have a resistance on the 30-minute. So, you know, price needs to respect this high to continue down, fill this wick, and then eventually, you know, reach this low. And then if we continue, we could fill that wick over there. FTSE looks very similar to GJ, or did. Sorry, the Dow. But yeah, we'll see what happens over here. Pretty difficult. So yeah. So we're just gonna sit back now. I'm just gonna chill out, and yeah, we're not gonna rush. Yeah, I'm not taking any more trades today at this point. You know, it's it wasn't meant to be. Wasn't meant to be. But let's look at the 4 hour. Yeah, so looks like the 4 hour did like a liquidity grab, but I still think we're coming down. It's just a matter of there needs to be some rejection, and then we need to close back below 134.880. You know, for price to continue down. We basically need to close back below this support, or even at this point, I would say we need to break this support right over here. So price create a support to continue up. We have this area, so we could reject at this point, and then we need this support to break for price to continue down at this point now. Because really and truly, in terms of, you know, as price is moving up, it's looking at this move down, you know, and then as price is coming down, it's looking left at this move up. So this information here is no longer relevant, but it is relevant in the sense that we're looking at this overall zone, and price didn't respect it, so we need to see like a close back below for price to continue down. But yeah, I'm just going to be here for support for those who want to take a re-entry. But for me, I am done for the week. Calling it a week officially. So looks like the FTSE's coming down. So FTSE must have some bearish sentiment. GJ obviously doesn't right now. Check out if we got any news over here. So if we've got any news, we've got some Euro news, CPI news, we've got CAD news at 1:30. Got some USD news also. So yeah, if GJ comes down, starts breaking support, this candle was just, it just was one of those situations where it was obviously like a liquidity grab or some form of retest. It could be like this candle needed to push up for a retest of the 4 hour. So if we look at it from that perspective, we was just early, you know. So that could be it. You know, looking at the 4 hour time frame, we closed below this support, and it did do a retest. So maybe this was the point at which it needed to do a retest and then continue down. So that would make sense, because this liquidity grab was maybe, you know, the push up to get that retest. But we don't know if it's going to do that until, you know, create some resistance. Then it could potentially range, and then once this support breaks, there's a much higher chance for price to continue down, and then we have like a 25 pip range. But yeah, I think that could make sense. It does look to me like a 4 hour retest. Okay, let's check out this chart over here. Okay, AJ 30-minute time frame. After a minor resistance here. Yeah, that could work. I mean, yeah, I think that could work. Only thing I would say is it could pull up higher into this zone because that was the most recent support before candles started to break down. So maybe it could form resistance here, but then, you know, you might see a situation where, you know, price starts to come back up to this level and then it forms another resistance. So that's the point at which, you know, you could give your trade some second chance or something like that. But, you know, once a low's been created and you have a resistance formed, yeah, there's a much higher chance for price to continue down at that point. So yeah, it makes complete sense. You have clean candles, so yeah, you'll have to let me know how that one plays out. It's like what happened here. You know, we thought this area here. So, okay, here's a good example just to clarify by what I mean by the other area. So this was our area where we was looking for a rejection. We had a rejection. Candles broke below, but then they came back up. Now, what we see is over here, this was the point at which, you know, this was the support level at which price broke down this morning. So, or during the Asian session. So naturally, this was the most recent support that price needed to, you know, come to a retracement to for that continuation. So maybe that's what's happening over here, and that was the retest, and then price kind of continue moving down. So I don't think I'm going to give my trade a second chance. I don't think I'm going to at all. But I mean, if it does break this support, then at that point, those of you looking for a second trade to, you know, make this, hopefully this to play out. Yeah, once this breaks this minor support, it should continue down. But it looks like it's doing that retest of this zone. And then, yeah, maybe going to reject from this point now. So...
Yeah, thanks, boys. I think I'm going to call it a week, eh?
Yeah, no worries, mate.
I'm going to go and get dinner.
Probably a good idea. Go enjoy your, go start your weekend, mate.
That's it.
Yeah, have a good weekend, mate.
Yeah.
Cheers, boys. Same with you.
Yeah, we'll see you Monday. See you Monday, Will.
Sounds good, mate.
Have
Thanks,
a good
boys.
weekend.
Bye-bye.
Gold is pushing bullish over here. Yeah, so I mean, guys, if you did take those GJ sells, I wouldn't be disheartened by it. You know, it's a Friday, probability is always lower, but if this same setup happened on Monday, I would take it. You know, Tuesday, you know, so we just didn't have the volume. Plus, I think it was a retest. You know, it was just a pure, it needed to do a retest of this zone. So, you know, if this was a normal day, I think it would have played out, but yeah. Euro JPY. Still just ranging. Gold trying to break up over here, break above this minor consolidation. What's going on, Serge? Yeah, sure. I'll take a look. So just a reminder, guys, obviously if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure that you're subscribed to enter yourself into the Magic Keys giveaway at 1k subscribers. So yeah, look at the FTSE, man. It's so tough. It's really tough. You know, created a minor resistance, a rejection. It's come down and now it's retracing. I think Fridays are a day, really, to maybe not take the impulse entries. You know, wait for candle to close. I think I should have just waited for the candle to close. But I was just expecting, you know, the volume. We had a clean candle to the left. This was a rejection. This candle rejected, closed below. So, yeah, I mean, it was probabilities. It was a few things. Go on, mate.
it seems like we got caught out on like the 1 hour forming that bottom wick. So that's when it kind of broke the low in the 30-minute.
Yeah, that's true.
Just hadn't finished retracing yet.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, at the same time, you know, if we look at the probabilities, so if I was looking at the 1 hour, I'd be like, yeah, okay, there's a chance it could come up and fill the wick. But then we have this issues over here. We have this issue, and obviously it rejected it first time. So then we're like, okay, if we start to see a minor resistance formed, then there's a much higher chance, you know, for price to continue down. So then when we go to the 30-minute time frame, we did reject here, but then we closed bullish. So at that point, if we're gonna, you know, reject this whole zone, then if we broke the low, you know, there was a much higher chance. So I think purely it was just probabilities, because once we broke this low, if you think about it for an hourly perspective, the probability or the chances of the hourly, you know, coming up to fill the wick was very low, you know, because it was trying to create a resistance over here. It broken the low, you know, so it did look good to continue down. But I think it was just one of those.
Yeah, I think especially because that was my second entry. I shouldn't be taking impulse trade on my second opportunity.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I'm gonna implement.
If you took an impulse entry to start, I would always then wait for the candles to close at that point.
Yeah.
I also think that, I mean, did you take an entry based off this 30-minute candle?
Yeah, I did.
I think stop was maybe a little bit too.
I had my stops. I had my stops on the 15.
Okay, yeah. So you just would have been no way of reducing that risk.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I think it made sense, but it was a very weak candle at the same time, you know. Yeah. It's difficult. HFX, I took those sells. I never know whether my trade was stupid or if the probability wasn't on my side. How do I know whether I can take the same setup again or if it's a dumb trade? Well, I mean, this setup I've seen happen before, so that's why I executed on this trade. In terms of impulse entries, okay, let's just talk about it like this. The fact that this 30-minute close of no wick to the bottom, we should have respected this low, you know, for price to continue up. So when a candle breaks the low like this, but then it closes bullish, that's what I would class as some form of liquidity grab, because, you know, it gave the indication it was going to continue down, but then it was a grab, you know, of a certain price level, and then it pushed further up from that point. So I would say that this necessarily wasn't a dumb trade if you took the same entry. I just hope you use less risk on a Friday, because that's always going to be less probability. But I think partly as well, you maybe needed to have seen these impulse plays play out for you to have confidence to execute on that. Because I had confidence to execute because I've seen these plays play out. So I would personally take this again if I saw this structure again. You know, if we was breaking the low, the chances are much higher. It just was on this occasion very hard to, you know, reduce the risk. But I mean, at the same time, yeah, we tried to do what we can. You know, got out with an 8 pip loss. Not ideal, but you know, we've had a pretty good week, so it's not really anything to be too alarmed about. But yeah, I won't worry. I think if it was a stupid trade, it would have been taking a sell before this candle broke the low, or, you know, while this candle was bullish. Something like that is going to be considered a dumb trade. GJ is kind of stale today. Yeah, GJ is not moving great today. But yeah, I mean, it was a Friday. I just thought the way that it looked, you know, we had this push, we had a low. If we were going to reject here, I thought maybe, you know, price could continue on the last day of the week. So if we go to the monthly, you know, could we get that monthly wick fill on the Friday was what I was thinking. On the weekly, But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't think it's gonna happen, but so I'm gonna leave you guys with some music. I need to go make a drink. But yeah, so my official trading week is complete, and it's time to just sit back now. We'll check out anybody's charts, and then yeah. So Serge, if you wanna send in your chart, mate, because I can't see anything. I think this would look like good structure for gold buys too. This 15-minute candle, pretty good. Oh, it's 5-minute. What was that? 5-minute. Nah, no good. No good. Yeah, so I'll be back in a minute, guys. I'll leave you here for a minute. Yo, yo, what's going on? Oh wow, GJ is pushing pretty bullish over here. So yeah, maybe the sells just weren't meant to be, it seems. Yeah, it looks like it's correcting this move here from the Asian session.
Just seems like it tapped into that like weekly zone and then just like rejected.
Yeah. Yeah, I still think though, even if people are looking for buys, like, you know, let's say people anticipated buys on this candle, you still would have lost anyway. And then, you know, buys over here just wouldn't really have made sense. Because, you know, we only have X amount of range. Yeah, like 9 pips. So, I mean, maybe this is just a 4 hour creating its top wick. And then if it starts to reject again. But we'll see. See what gold is doing. Gold is pushing bullish over here. Looking at the 15-minute. Yeah, it's going to continue up. So Serge, what you want to do is you see this code right over here. You want to copy that, and then in the chat just put like a space, and then just, you know, write like a couple of words, and it should go through. Yeah, that should work. Yeah, looks like GCAD trying to continue bullish also. But stop would have been pretty big. Oh yeah, that's ridiculous. Yeah, no entry on the 15 either. Yeah. FTSe just consolidating over here. Yeah, and then if we look at US 30, like, man, this is why US 30 is so difficult. So difficult. Yeah, today for a Friday has not been. It's been not an easy day at all. I have to admit. You know, buys and sells both wouldn't have played out, because even if you had buys, you would have got stopped out. If you had sells, you lost. So it's just one of those days. You know, when you see this is one of those days, it's just a perfect opportunity just to call it a week, and, you know, just that's it. Just call it a week and come back next week. So Euro JPY is still ranging. 30 minutes maybe trying to come up and close above this minor resistance. Okay, 2 sets. 1 sec. So yeah, how's everybody's week been? So well, how did everybody's week go? Hope everybody had a good week. So yeah, if anybody wants me to check any charts or any losses they've taken this week, now's the time to do that. Surge, it's still not coming up in the YouTube chat there. Let's check out this chart from Movie's got a chart. Okay, so this is Euro JPY 30 minute. Willing to take a sell after form resistance on the 30 minute, low created. I mean, I see what you're saying, I understand the thought process, but I mean, price is just ranging. This is consolidation, so obviously you have to think, even if you get a resistance formed here, there's still a chance this price can break up. So I would say if you're going to look for sells on this occasion, just my personal opinion, I think it's going to be better below support at this point, because when price makes a low, you wait, and once a resistance is created, that's the point at which the low should get retested. Now if it doesn't and price closes bullish but then doesn't break above the resistance, that just means there's consolidation, so there's no real volume, there's no clear direction. So on a Friday, do you really want to be chancing a 50-50? On a Friday, I wouldn't recommend it. I would wait for like a breakout, either to the upside or to the downside, and then you're gonna have a much better trade to end the week than trying to. I think this is in this range is gonna be tough, but it could play out. It's up to you, of course. Okay, Serge sent his chart in. Okay, this is GJ 15 minute time frame, retest of recently broken support with lower low and lower high formed. Okay, entry on the pullback with stop above previous high, stopped out, then moved to my TP. Okay, so your entry was up over here on the, entry on the pullback, and then okay, I had the same trade based on the 30 minute. If we go to, so I think once the candle broke the high of this candle, I think you should have been minimizing the risk, taking something off the table at that point. Even when this 15 closed bullish, maybe even reduce the risk more at that point, because there was a much higher probability of the trade getting stopped out. So I was looking for sells as well below this minor support. Yeah, it didn't play out. I'm afraid it didn't play out. This one is yesterday. Okay. That's the same one, isn't it? Oh, did it not? Don't think it copied the right one. Okay, let's try again. Okay, so this one was the 15-minute. So we had a break and retest of support. Okay, strong bearish candle forming lower low, lower high. Entry on the pullback. Price hit my stop loss and then move to target. Yeah, I mean, I still think, you know, just basing everything off the 15 is obviously going to be weaker than the 30-minute. So when was this? This was yesterday. This was yesterday. Let's try and find this. Let me. Go for the life of me. Okay. Oh, is it over here? I think it's over here. So this was around pre-New York. Let's go back. Okay, so the sells were, yeah, I mean, looking on the 30-minute, if you base the trade off the 30-minute time frame, then it could have played out. Stop below the previous candle, continue down. 12 o'clock.
You're looking at the wrong day there, I think, on the...
Am I?
Yeah, on the 15th. When you went back to the 30, actually. It needs to be on the 29th.
Oh, okay, let me
Just
go
check
back.
that, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, yeah, that's the
To the
28th.
right bit.
Oh, okay.
There it
Oh,
is,
I see. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I suppose even then still, once the 30-minute closed bearish, you know, the next one did continue down for like 30 pips. Did respect the high until it came up. So, I think you're, yeah, so, okay, let's say then, based on the 30-minute time frame, I think the entry was early. Because we didn't even have a 30-minute candle close in our direction. And this candle closed with barely a wick. So I would have been very skeptical, but I mean, in theory, that sell did play out if you waited for the 30-minute. Yeah, I think if it was based on the 15, it's just a little bit of probability, but you know, you got to remember the 15 is a weak time frame confirmation. I think the sell was over here. This was the area you should have been selling. In fact, I spoke about this yesterday. This is the area that there was further confirmation for sells. So we had a minor support formed, then we had another 15-minute candle come down, left a wick to fill, closed below this minor support, and then as this next candle was coming up, I would have been in sells, expecting, you know, the next candle to continue down, stop above this area, and then you could have rid this clean move. So I think that was the better selling opportunity based off the 15-minute. So yeah. Will ECB affect GJ? Probably not. We've got another chart here. Let's check this out. Okay, GJ 30 minute. Is it a good trade for next time? Okay, so 2 hour candle rejected support. Okay, 2 candle bullish plus high time frame was bullish. 3, I was thinking to enter at this candle, stop loss below the previous candle. Yeah, I mean that makes sense because we have a clean candle to the left hand side. So, you know, if price can't break down, it created a low right over here, formed a support, candle closed with a wick in its direction. So yeah, it does make sense. Clean candle to the left. So yeah, I think that could have worked out there. First take profits. Yeah, that would have made sense. Obviously, it'd been counter trend, but you know, you just take that into consideration. If you start to see candles print bearish, you can just, you know, reduce the risk at that point. So right, I'll have to be back. I've got a barking dog who wants to get let out, so I'll be 2 secs. But GJ is just going. Let's check out gold. Gold is just pushing. GCAD's probably pushing. Yeah, 15 minute created some form of support there to continue up. So I think that was a good indication based on the 15 minute. Euro JPY, let's go to the 30 minute. 30 minutes still trying to break up. Yeah, GJ's still pushing, so I'll be back 1 sec.
Don't pretend you're no good, 'cause I can see your sunshine dripping out your sleeves onto my lifeline. Oh good, oh, you didn't mean to leave a trail for me, but you didn't know I'm true. It's alright with me. If it's alright with you, then I could be whatever it is that you need me to. My love, 'cause you're golden. 'Cause you're golden. Very shy like one would be if they hadn't been love right. Sleeping all the time, I know why you stay inside. Safer to save your life. It's alright with me. If it's alright with you, then I could be whatever it is that you need me to. My love, 'cause you're golden. 'Cause you're golden. Golden boy. 'Cause you're golden. Golden boy. So if you want.
Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so it looks like GJ was just straight bullish. I even think that there was a possible impulse entry for buys over here. You know, once this 15-minute candle came up and broke the high of this 15-minute candle. But yeah, I mean, the impulse entries on the sell didn't play out. So what's the euro doing? Euro's trying to push up as well. Doing a little bit of a retracement. Yeah, no worries, Serge. No worries. Yeah, so next week we're gonna have a good week. We're gonna keep it disciplined again. You know, just gotta do the same thing every week. FTSE's coming down. Let's look at the 15 minutes. So the 15-minute needs to break below this minor support. You set weekly goals. Do you mean in terms of like percentage goals or like return goals? Or just in life goals? Yeah, I mean, if you're referring to if you're referring to like in terms of like improving trading, yeah, I mean, I don't really set goals based on that anymore. Like it used to be like that when I was, first starting out and stuff. Like I'd have a goal to try and look at this more, or try and get better at this. But now I just, at the end of the week, I'll just review all the trades that I took, and I'll just look at those trades, and I'll just see how I could have made it better. How I could have executed better, how I could have exited the trade better, how I could have managed risk better, all these things. So just keep constantly reviewing performance. So yeah. Yeah, I think that's important. You wanna aim to get better at something, but I think ultimately you're just gonna get better by just looking at your losses and just always seeing how you could have improved. Just reviewing and reviewing. Yeah, journaling is really key. it was a game changer for me. Once I started journaling, I realized, you know, where I was going wrong. Yeah, GJ has just kept on running over here. Gold is retracing. Okay, Movies got another chart coming in over here. Let's check out Movies chart. Okay, GJ 30-minute. If we break over here, waiting support to form above 30-minute resistance. Okay, oh sorry. So waiting for support to form to take a buy. Because we are bullish trend from pre-London, London Open. The candle should respect this support area from a buying bias. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. The only thing I would say is, if I go to my chart real quick, over here is good. You know, we have this clean candle. We have a clean move coming up to 135.620. I think you're right, a support is going to be better, because if a support is established above this area, then you know that means this area is no longer a resistance, because if we look left, we would be buying into this zone over here, which is a potential area that we can reject. This is a previous support, and if you actually look, we never formed the resistance at this level. We never really retested this area. You know, we broke down, we came back up to this zone, but we never really formed that resistance over here, you know, for price to continue down. So I think a support above this area is going to be much better, you know, because then you can expect volume to break through this minor zone. So yeah, I'd agree with that. But I mean, just remember, look, it's moved up quite a lot. I don't know if it's going to continue to push, but I mean, we'll see. But at this point, it's cleared the way. You know, price has cleared the way. It's now at a resistance. So yeah, so just a reminder as well, guys, remember the mentorship is closing tomorrow. So today and tomorrow is the last chance to get in before it closes for a couple months. Yeah, November is a big month. I got a lot of things. I got some other things going on the side, so I just want to focus on having like a fairly sized group at the moment, rather than having to deal with much larger groups. So yeah, that's gonna give me a bit of time to get things done, and then maybe the new year we'll open it back up and then go again. It's just certain times of the year that things are busy, and I don't want to put pressure on myself. So if we look at GCAD, this 15-minute candle was the confirmation, for price to continue up. It closed above this level, so on the 30-minute did like a retest, closed bullish with a wick to fill. Next candle comes up and does fill that wick, so it's pretty good. But yeah, we had a couple of people sign up yesterday, which was great. A couple of new people joined the group, so they're gonna be coming on trading with us now. I'd say the other thing as well, looking at this candle structure from the trade that we took, if we look at the 15-minute, this 15-minute candle, it closed back below this area, which also gave me, the confidence that we should continue down. But I just don't think the probabilities was there. It seemed to have done this liquidity grab, and then from there it just started to drive up. So I think next week, I think other people's time zones will be back in sync with ours. So I'll find out for definitely, you know, when that happens. And then I think we're still gonna start at like 8:30. To be honest, I prefer starting a little bit earlier, just after London Open, and then I think we'll go till normal time, 11:30. Depends. I think if there's nothing, you know, that we're waiting on, then we call it at 11. But if there's something we're still waiting for, we'll go to 11:30. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the rest of the parts of the world will get back in sync with us next week. Okay, let's check out what gold's doing over here. Gold still trying to continue bullish. 30-minute closed with no wick to the bottom. Do you guys want to hear something really mad that I've just read? So on the internet, on my phone, it reckons that some people with COVID have been getting purple feet. I mean, yeah. Apparently it's called COVID toes. People have been getting COVID toes.
So these people haven't had like the symptoms like back in March, April. It just comes around now.
I have no idea. It just reckons they've got COVID toes. Is the latest symptom.
Really?
Yeah,
What?
I swear. Look it up on the internet. Go on your phone and type in COVID
Oh,
toes.
man.
It reckons
There are
that.
plenty of symptoms.
Huh?
There's plenty of symptoms. Yeah, to be honest, you know, I was speaking to one of my colleagues, actually two of my colleagues who had COVID. They were tested, and it turns out that they are affected. And one of them was going through this quite smoothly, but the second one, she has children in age like 4 or 5 years old, and she needs to handle them all the time. And she told me that she couldn't move for like 3 days. And even when the children were coming to her to grab her, you know, to hold, and when they were holding her, it was very, very, how to say that, it hurt her very much, you know.
Yeah, she's very weak.
That when I heard it, okay, but she went through this and now she's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Like different people seem to, you know, like young people like my age, they just don't seem to even get any symptoms. You know, like it's just not really too bad. But then some people, it does obviously have bad effects for.
Purple toes.
Yeah, purple toes. Yeah, look it up. I've never heard of a thing in my life.
Yeah, yeah.
Purple
Yeah.
toes, man. I wonder if they stay purple for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Anybody who gets COVID now has purple feet.
Yeah. Like in Shrek.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's crazy.
And how's the situation in your country? Is it getting worse or is it getting better?
Well,
Are
I
you
mean,
prepared for final, I don't know, lockdown again?
well, we're not going into lockdown, but I mean, there is a rise in cases. There has been rise in deaths as well. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know if they're gonna lock us down or what, but I think they're just gonna try and take stricter measures, and you know, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know what they're gonna do, you know. But I mean, this Christmas, you know, if you think about it, it's coming up to nearly a year since these restrictions were put in place, and I'm just thinking, you know, I feel bad for the people that necessarily haven't been able to see their family and stuff for many months. And Christmas is obviously a, you know, really important time of the year where people come together. And I do see the I do see the government. I do see them like not letting people. I don't think there's gonna be a normal Christmas. Like, it's not gonna happen. They're gonna purposely try and they're gonna purposely block that from happening.
Yeah, you're right, definitely.
But I mean,
Well-
I mean, look, just for me, I think, you know, people should be able to make their own decisions on this. You know, if you're vulnerable, then don't put yourself at risk. But you know, there are some people that just want that human interaction, and you know, I hear. No, it's funny though, because I always had this impression that the older generation, you know, more in favor of the lockdowns and stuff. But I've been hearing more and more people just say, you know, they just want to live their life. You know, no point being, you know, hiding away for long periods of time. And
Yeah, understand.
you know, they don't, especially for old people, I suppose they never know when their last day is going to be, and I'm sure they don't want to live their last few days locked away, I suppose. But yeah.
Oh, so I understood incorrectly. So you're saying that the older generation is also against the lockdown, yes? So
Well-
they want to live their life, like, yeah?
Well, I mean, some obviously probably
Some of
very yeah, I think some of them are probably very for the lockdown as well, but there is that like division of opinion, we'll say.
Yeah. You know, we have in Poland this quite strange situation currently, as there are plenty of how to say that? Let me check in the dictionary. Against the abortion, there are many people outside for a few days, for last weekend actually, on the streets. Strike. How is strike?
Riot, protest.
Riot. Yes, there are plenty of riots in many cities in Poland now.
Oh, yeah.
So you know, it's like this weekend, actually maybe even today or tomorrow, the government is going to decide if Poland will be in the second lockdown, because we have many people affected day to day. It's getting rising, and so we are waiting for this. At the same time, we have like how did you call that?
What protest? Protest.
Protest, yes.
Yeah.
Plenty of protests for a few days in the Poland against the abortion.
Yeah.
And so it is like there's thousands of people on the streets. At the same time, government is saying to you, you have to. There is forbidden gathering people for more than 5 persons.
Yeah.
So it's already, you know, against the law.
Yeah.
And it's not going to end. The strikes, the protests are not going to be ended.
No.
People are preparing themselves to make protests in another days as well. And at the same time, we probably will be locked down. So I'm wondering what happens in near 3 days in Poland. Will
Yeah.
the bomb explode?
Yeah, I think there's protests all over Europe about the anti-lockdown. I know France, Germany. There's been, well, I say protests. It is protests, and then obviously you probably get a few that try and cause a bit of aggro. But I mean, there's some in London as well, actually. But I actually saw a video on. I shouldn't laugh. It's not funny, but I mean, it did make me laugh at the time. There was a video in London, and it was the police, and there was the anti-lockdown protest, and I saw a police officer actually hit a granny with a police baton because they thought they were trying to start a riot. And I was like, bloody hell, I've seen it all now. That's how the police are coming about it. But
Yeah.
he literally whacked this granny, and he knocked her flying. He really knocked her flying. I couldn't believe it. Never seen anything like that. HFX, is it a Sun News article? No, I think it was Sky News. Yeah, I mean the Sun News, they just print any story that they get their hands on by the looks of it. I always get these notifications from the Sun. Gold is doing a retracement right now, probably trying to create a support to continue bullish, but I mean overall trend is bearish still. So are you getting ready for some GJ buys? No, I'm not taking any more trades this week. I'm done for the week. Yeah, I'm done for the week. I think if you are looking for buys, I think a retracement to 135.50, 135.60 and a support is it's gonna be good. How am I 30 seconds behind you? I'm not sure. Maybe the YouTube shouldn't be that long of a gap, but it should only be like 10 seconds or something like that. But I'm not sure. France is messed up right now. So they banned abortions in Poland.
I mean, yeah, I did it improper. I told you improperly, probably. Abortion is the operation when you are able to how to say that.
You like the abortion. You obviously terminate the baby.
There's no child then,
Yeah, you terminate the baby. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And the protests are against not abortion, just the opposite way. Shit, how doing?
Oh, they're pro-life.
Yes, yeah. So the government is pro-life, and it doesn't matter if the child is sick on its 1 month of life in the belly or second life. It doesn't matter how condition of the child is. The government is saying you're gonna make this baby out,
Yeah.
So there are many protests against of it. We want women to decide themselves what to do in this situation, if they want to have a child or maybe they don't want to.
Yeah.
So that is all about.
Yeah, definitely.
It means you are then forced to have a baby in the situation when you're not even sure if it's gonna die after it's born.
Yeah.
Man, it's pretty sad. So they don't let you to make decision.
Yeah, I think as well when because they did the same thing in Ireland. They made abortion. This was like years ago. There was no abortions, but then what they would do is you'd have these like underground clinics, that would be doing these abortions illegally, because some people just, because obviously what happens if women get raped and they get pregnant, they don't obviously want to keep the baby in that situation. So I think it just drives it underground, to be honest. So it will probably still go on. It will just be all underground, and you just won't hear about it. But you know, the government would know that deep down that that's gonna happen if you ban it. You know, it's like if you ban anything, there's always something. You know, you ban drugs, and you know, people who have drugs, and so it's just rules. They just yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's gonna create some, as you said, underground moves
Yeah.
for making abortion. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, anyway, looking at Euro JPY, is doing a retracement back to this resistance. So I think if anyone's looking for buys, you'd need a support to form over here for Euro JPY to continue bullish. GJ is coming down. 30 minutes, got like 5 minutes left. We're actually going to call it a day here in 5 minutes anyway. So, yeah, I'm going to call it a session, call it a week. But I think if people are looking for further buys, I would wait for a support to form to, you know, retest this level. But it looks like currently we're failing to break this previous high point. So, you know, maybe so here's the thing. When price comes up and it fails to break a previous high, it's going to do one or two things. It's going to retrace, form some support, and then it's going to have the order flow to come up and break that high, or it's going to reject the area and it's going to continue down, and it's going to, you know, so I think if people are looking for sells, I'd look for sells back below this zone. And then if I was looking for buys, I would wait for a support above this area. But yeah, I mean, I'm done for the day, done for the week. I'm gonna go enjoy my weekend soon, in a few minutes. So let's just do a quick scout of the other pairs, see what's going on. So looks like the FTSE did come down. If we look at the 15-minute, the 15-minute confirmation was this candle here. It closed just below this minor support for the next candle to continue down. So pretty good. The Dow continued up to this area to form a resistance. GCAD did continue up, create a high. It's now trying to create some support to continue moving bullish. Gold also tapped into this area. Probably wait for some support for price to continue up. Looks like a liquidity grab. Euro JPY needs a support formed over here, and then GJ we've spoke about. So yeah, I think we're gonna call it a day over here now. Thanks everybody for coming. So a couple reminders, just as I know, because obviously I'm not going to be able to say this again till after the weekend. So first of all, the mentorship will be closed as of midnight tomorrow. So last opportunity to get into the group, come on and trade with us. It's going to be closed for a couple of months. So that deadline is tomorrow. Second thing, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We'll also be doing a 1K giveaway. So 1,000 subscribers, we'll be doing a Magic Keys giveaway. I probably made it sound then like we're going to give away £1,000, but no, we're not doing that, I'm afraid. So yeah, Magic Keys giveaway at 1K subscribers. So yeah, so a couple of key things there. So I just want to say thanks to everyone for coming to the stream this week. We've had a really good week. You know, we had 4 wins, 1 loss on the live stream here this week. So a great result. That's an 80% win rate this week. That's an 80% win rate. So you think about that. You keep the losses small. You keep your winners big. Man, you're going to do very well. So, yeah, all you have to do is turn up. You know, there's plenty of recaps for you guys to watch over the weekend. You know, I would highly recommend going back over the streams. You know, listen to some of the discussions, looking at how we break down candles in real time. You know, go back and look at some of the winning trades, go back and look at the losing trades, how we could have minimized risk, everything. So there's plenty for you guys to learn from. So yeah, you know, you got to spend your weekends wisely. You know, we can never be good enough. But yeah, I'm going to conclude it there. I'm going to say thanks to everyone on the Zoom. Hope you guys have a good weekend.
You too. See you later.
Yeah.
You have a good
See you,
weekend as
Greg.
well.
Thank you. See you, Kelsey.
See
See
you
you,
later.
Greg. We'll see
See you.
guys.
Bye bye.
Yep. Thank you. We'll see you guys on Monday. And for those of you in the YouTube, have a good weekend. You know, really use your time wisely. Really use your time to review your performance for the week. Because trust me, when I started doing that, you know, things really started to make more sense and, you know, really started to improve. So, yeah, like I say, guys, have a good weekend. We'll see you Sunday for the market open live stream. Probably only go for like an hour or something. Again, you know, they're not going to be too long. It's more just looking at the week, you know, looking at potentially setups for Monday and stuff like that. Maybe try and catch something for market open, but we will see. So yeah, I'll see you guys on Sunday, and then if you can't make that one, then we'll be back on Monday at 8:30 GMT. So they're going to be starting from 8:30 now, and then yeah, we'll see if the other time zones get back in sync, and then we can yeah, we can start to finish a little bit later and start a bit earlier. So we'll have longer on the stream, but that's perfectly fine. Yeah, so thanks very much, appreciate it, and yeah, have a good weekend, guys. We'll see you Monday.